Card Party 2, honest review of how the event went. So throughout this video, I'm going to talk about my experience. I'm also going to put like pictures and videos and clips of the event on screen so it won't just be me sitting here the whole time. But now that everything is over, I feel like it'd be good for y'all that either went or didn't go this year or might want to go next year. Or maybe even if somehow Pat and them see this, they get some ideas on what they could potentially fix and what went really well. This is just my personal opinions though. Let's get into it. First thing I'll say, location, being in Orlando, I loved it. I mean, I personally think this was the #1 location that Card Party could have been. I'm probably biased because I live in Georgia, so it was a really quick drive. But I also love Orlando. The hotel that Card Party was at was super nice. They had really good amenities for everybody. Like the pool was ginormous, and the basketball. I mean, I think the basketball was a huge W, which basically started off Card Party. So as most of y'all probably know, me and cool trainer Ryan had a basketball game. It was extremely fun. A bunch of people came out in person for the game and got to watch it. We had some stakes on the game. You can see my chin. Okay, it's coming back a little bit. And I honestly think that was like a really fun way to start off the event. I can't thank Ryan enough for giving me the opportunity to play him. I know he went out there and he got the job done, okay? I talked my crap. He was kind of a silent killer behind the scenes the whole time. I obviously was not conditioned as I should have been for Ryan because he took me to the basket every time. Although I trained a lot for it, yeah, I had a blast. I had a blast, and I can't thank Ryan enough for even letting me play in that game with him. And then if y'all didn't see the stream or if it was too laggy at the end, you know, they're asking who's here for Ryan, and he gets a blow up of everybody in the crowd because everybody freaking loves Ryan. And then, you know, my cheers were there, but a lot quieter, and something that they obviously didn't have to do. I think Ryan, Rev, and Volt all said it, like, give it up for Vert.
Shiny Vert! Let's hear it again for Shiny Admiral effort!
And they absolutely did not need to say something like that, because coming from them, then the crowd goes crazy. And obviously, you know, I'm just super appreciative of that. Made me feel really good. Just shows how genuine the pokey frat boys are. I know that they gave me a huge platform and stuff, and I just want to give them a giant thanks, all three of those guys. Two things about the game that I wish were a little bit different, and this kind of ties into the whole event, and I did hear this from some other people. The Wi-Fi at the hotel. I don't know exactly how it worked, if you had to pay, if you went down to the pool area and stuff. Like, if you're in the room and stuff, the Wi-Fi was good, just the free Wi-Fi. But outside on the courts, like, I think when Rev was streaming it for CTR's channel, the Wi-Fi kept cutting in and out. And it seemed like that was a common theme for everybody at the event, that if you're outside trying to do things and you're trying to like live stream or anything, it was getting crazy lag. And that wasn't just outside too, because the event was downstairs. It seemed like the same problem downstairs, just the Wi-Fi was iffy, and it seemed like a lot of people didn't really know how to fix that, or if you had to pay to get better Wi-Fi like coverage. And then secondly, with the basketball game, or basketball stuff in general, there was a ton of creators down there at one point. We did play a game of Knockout, which was really fun, but it was kind of more just like, you know, the boys hooping, which was really fun, don't get me wrong. But I think it'd be really cool to actually make basketball or even other sports at the next event like actual events and put them on the schedule so more people come. We had a good crowd watching out there regardless, without it being an event. Even going into Card Party, I know CTR is like, he has a huge following, so he's the reason he got this thing promoted so much. I think if it was a big game, or if we had like 3-point contest, or even around the world, or just like mini games or stuff like that, but scheduled as actual events, I think it'd be a huge turnout. The sports in general seem to like get people super hyped. The entire rest of the event, I heard people nonstop talking about the game and stuff, which was really cool. I literally cannot thank Ryan enough. Like, dude, seriously, thanks. As a thank you to Ryan, I gotta insert a little clip here. Ryan, you'll be getting this soon when I get home, so in a few days I'll have this shipped out, but insert clip. Ryan, I found a basketball game, and I'm gonna win you this plush real quick.
Shout out Delta.
Hey!
Oh. All right. Ryan definitely wants the otter. This is for you, Ryan. Otter, please. Thank you, sir. How's it going? Also, just really quickly, I lost my mics at the event, so hopefully the audio isn't too bad and my voice is going, because It's been a long weekend of lots of streaming, lots of really exciting moments. And then I also went to Universal yesterday, which was right after Card Party. Bear with me here, people, but I wanted to get a video out for y'all, and I thought this would be a cool video. I'm also still in Orlando. I haven't taken a vacation in like 2 years. Taken 3 days for myself just to stay here. I'm still getting a video out right now for y'all. I'm about to edit this in the room. And then I'm gonna go down to the pool today. Tomorrow I may hit a Disney park, which I'm really excited for. But moving back to the event. All right, so then after the basketball game, I actually went into the event. I went into like the vendor section and stuff. And there is vendors everywhere. Like, it was so cool. People everywhere. There's creators just walking around. I literally couldn't even get like 20, 30 steps without somebody coming up and saying hello to me, which is the coolest experience of my life. I am the most average, regular person in the world. To have both kids and adults coming up and saying hello to me or asking to snap a picture or something, it's like really humbling. Like, all I do is open Pokemon cards on camera. Like, and I just can't say thank you enough to like the people and everything, bro. It's unreal. I'm genuinely like an awkward person, so I get pretty nervous, but also at the same time, like, I love meeting y'all. I love actually getting to have real life conversations with y'all instead of just sitting behind a camera in my studio. Deep Pocket Monster has now created this event where we all get to come to one spot and meet each other and actually hang out. It's like you're actually friends at this event. Like, anybody, creators and guests, creators and creators, like anybody, we're all just friends hanging out. It really does. It feels like a big family reunion. And this is just walking around the vendors. Another thing I did here that could be like a small fix, and I don't know, this personally doesn't affect me. This is just something I heard from other people, like vendors. And there was a map, so don't get me wrong. There was a map that would show you where everything is. And the maps were right there before you walk in, so everybody could have easily like gotten a map. But I did hear from vendors that a lot of people, so how it was set up, there was like 3 different vendor rooms. So you go down these escalators, you have like a vendor hall to your left where you walk through like a corridor of doors. You have a vendor hall to your right, or you can walk like way down to your right, and there's one way down there. So I did hear from vendors. A lot of people didn't know that there was multiple rooms of vendors. So like Card Party 1, for example, it was one giant room of all the vendors, whereas here it was separated into like 3 rooms of vendors. I think that is one thing that's probably better about Card Party 1, is having all the vendors just in one room. Obviously the event was a lot bigger this year, so I don't even know if that's doable at this point. This hotel was massive, and there still probably wasn't enough space to get all the vendors in one room. And that might not even be a possibility, but I guess there's that. But also it was on the map, so. There was a lot of scheduled events or panels that you could go to, which I think is really cool about the event. I got to do a panel myself with the legends Rock Sandy, Pokemon, and Pokedexter. We got to do a pack battle. We got to battle a Lost Origin booster box supplied by the Card Party event, so that was extremely nice too. Lost Origin's like the #1 set I would have chose to open going for the Tina. I thought that was set up extremely well. We got to sit at 2 booths. We all had mics we could talk into. When I was pulling cards, I would give them to like, there's like a group of kids that were watching right in front of us, so I'd be like, here's a card for you, here's a card for you. By the end of the panel, like, the kids had kind of split into 2 groups. So Pokemon and Dexter are team silver over here, me and Rock are team gold, and like the kids are like yelling next to each other. I think that was set up phenomenally. And we had Caleb X Swag hosting it, which also made it better because like sometimes if the creators got quiet, you know, we all get a little, at least for me, I get a little awkward sometimes, guys. There's a lot of people watching, and sometimes if you don't know what to say or something, but Caleb X Swag killed it. So even that was smart on the event of like putting a moderator up there, so he kind of just commentated the whole thing. So if it ever got quiet or anything, Caleb X Swag jumped in and would handle it all, which made me feel like, you know, a lot more confident being up there. I just thought everything about the 2v2 panels or the 2v2 creator pack battles, I thought those were super cool. I would love to see those return at Card Party 3, and it was super fun to be a part of. Then they had other panels to listen about tips and tricks at doing YouTube or something, like how can you make your thumbnails better, or how YouTube auto plays now, so those first like 5 to 10 seconds of your video have to be real spicy, or just a lot of small tips and tricks. I think that's a really cool panel. The rated R panel is super awesome. It was for 18 years or older.
Ryan, when's your oil live stream gonna be? Maybe end of summer celebration stream, August.
I can't wait.
I'll have a kiddie pool and everything.
That one was done by an awesome group of people. They had Volt, Ryan, Opossum Bud, and Gonzo doing that one. I sat through that entire panel. I thought it was freaking hilarious, and it's really cool an event like this that there's still, you know, there's a big adult fan base at this event. Like, a lot of us that are really enjoying Pokemon cards now are adults, and so I think it's really cool that they do that, especially when we do have a lot of creators in the hobby now that are not PG. So I honestly think that's probably one of the most enjoyed panels out of the entire event. Then, speaking about kind of the adult fan base at the event, don't get me wrong, there's a ton of kids at the event, so this opinion might just be dust. I'm just giving my personal opinions in this video. But one thing I was thinking about the Mainstage show, especially on the first night, it feels really geared towards only children, and that might be fine because it is a children's card game. I think it's pretty 50-50 of both kids and adults at this event. Like, Deep Pocket Monster does the shows great and everything. Like, everybody in the event comes into one giant room and Pat gets up there and talks. He brings a couple big creators up there of the event. They'll sit down and answer some questions. That's really cool. I'm sure everybody likes that. There's some like guessing Pokemon games, which is really fun as well. Now that I'm speaking about this, I don't really know if there's a way to fix it. It just felt very geared towards children. But the thing is, there's always going to be children in that audience, so I don't even know if there's a fix for that to gear it all. Because, you know, you can't have some of the rated R creators get up there and start cracking jokes in front of children because it's just not appropriate. But maybe instead of like a G-rated, like super kiddish feel to the ceremony, it would be cool to go like even just PG, or I don't know if it's possible, but like PG-13, where it's kind of more in the middle because it is adults and children in there. And then you have trade night. The unofficial trade nights, I think, is probably the best thing about Card Party. Everybody kind of gathers at the bar area in the hotel. And this hotel had a beautiful space for it. It was a large space. Man, I'm talking hundreds of people were in this space on every single night. Probably Saturday night was the most people. Creators, guests, I mean, everybody was just running around. And yes, people are trading cards, but also people are just having drinks and hanging out and just being like normal freaking people, and it's really fun. I got to a point from an unofficial trade night where I was letting people sign the inside of my gas tank.
Oh my god. See, it was a good thing to do. Oh my god.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Which will definitely be a memory forever for me. Got to meet some really awesome people down there. You know, there's a difference of when you're at this trade night spot than when you're walking around the event. Like, in the event, I'm meeting people like, hey, it's so nice to meet you. At trade night, it's like, what's going on, dude? I don't know. It's just a different vibe, and I think it's really cool for both guests and creators just to be able to hang out. And I think that's the number one coolest thing about Card Party. Hopefully I'm not dragging on here. I'm just kind of talking about my experience, but I think the number one coolest thing about Card Party is that Pat and his team, Deep Pocket Monster and his team, has put together this event where everybody gets to come together and just bond and just create these awesome relationships. You get to put faces to names. All these people, like, I met so many people that I've seen them commenting forever on my channel, and they come up and they tell me like, hey, this is my YouTube name, and I'm like, dude, I know exactly who you are. It's the coolest thing to put this face to somebody's name, get to meet them in person and see like how cool they really are. I've said it a million times and I'll say it again, this is the number one community on YouTube. I genuinely really think so. Everybody's so helpful. I mean, I gave out, I did a live stream of this where I gave out like probably over $500 worth of singles cards, and I saw the people I was giving them to would go give them to the next person. There's no other community who is like this giving and this helpful, and Deep Pocket Monsters put together this event where everybody's getting together like one time of the year to bring it to real life. Like, it's genuinely cool. That's my favorite part about the whole thing. There's probably a lot of stuff I'm leaving out that Pat did a really great job on. Like, the world record is really cool. I know that's a massive thing that people care about, and we did break another world record this year. He gave the creators these freaking sick jerseys, and that's like some of the stuff he did. He didn't even have to like go out and say that he did it, but like the jerseys are freaking sick. They look amazing. amazing. The quality is great. I'm super excited to like have one of those, so that's super cool. I'm probably leaving out some really cool stuff he did, but the event was amazing. I had a blast. I cannot thank the big three enough for, you know, how much they genuinely care about me and try to help me. Rev, CTR, and Volt are probably the most genuine people I've ever met in my entire life. The Critical Hit podcast crew, Opossum, Rock, Metri, Starman, Gonzo. Please don't let me blank on any names right now. Everybody from Critical Hit podcast, such genuine people. For me, it was so cool to get the feedback from like some of my fans where they're like, dude, Vert is like just a normal person. Like, that's really cool. I feel the same way about some of these creators that are way bigger than me. I'm like, you know, I get very nervous meeting these people, and I say the same thing about them. I'm like, dude, they're just the most genuine, coolest people. So with that being said, I will make my final point. This is probably the one thing I'm the most disappointed about. Some people might be really, really happy about this. I guess it maybe Deep Pocket Monsters doing it as a trial run just for 1 year, and we'll see how it goes. It could go super well. Here's what I'm nervous about. So Deep Pocket Monster has announced that there will be 2 card parties next year. One, I believe, in June and one in October. The first one in June will be in Tampa, Florida, and the second one in October will be Pacific Northwest. The one thing I'm nervous about is that, like I said, I think the best thing about this event is that you're bringing everybody together for a big family reunion, putting every creator in one room together. I myself, I'm probably gonna go to both because I love the event, and I think a lot of creators will go to both, but I do think there's gonna be a lot of creators that do not go to both sides because that's a big trip, and it would be like 2 times that people have to get time off from work and stuff to go to 2 events. So I feel like you're taking one of the coolest things about Card Party and maybe like splitting the creators. It could go really well. I just think that I really love the fact of getting everybody in one building. The same thing goes for the guests and the fans there as well. Like 100%, a lot of these people will not go to both. I'm getting long-winded. Let me break it down. 1 pro, 1 con. The pro is that it is now more accessible to people on the East and West Coast, because if you're on the East, last year you probably didn't go to Card Party 1 when it's in Cali. If you're on the West, you probably didn't come this year because it's in Florida. So now that there's going to be one on both sides, it's a lot more accessible to everyone. That's a huge pro. The con is that I think it's going to split the fans and the creators. I don't think you're going to get this one big family reunion anymore. It could be a test run. I think we'll just see how it goes. But overall, compared to all the other events, Card Party blows it out of the water. It was a great freaking time this year. I had a blast. I can't thank everybody enough for just showing me so much love. Super appreciative that I got to be a featured creator this year. I really genuinely hope that I can be a featured creator again next year. Thank you to all like the people that watched me and stuff that came for showing me so much love. You don't know how humbling that is and like how thankful I am for that. It's the coolest experience I could ever have in my life to think that, you know, all these people are telling me like your videos did this for me or your videos are like, it's so insane, man. It's so insane. Even with these small things that could have been fixed, the event was a 10 out of 10. It's literally the best Pokemon event. It's hands down. I mean, so many special memories are unlocked. Y'all can look at my Instagram right now. I got like 1 million stories of pictures on there with all these people. If you missed this card party, I would highly recommend you go to the next one. They knocked it out of the park the first year, and they knocked it out of the park again this year. A huge W. Sad it's over. I literally have I have post-card party depression because I miss everybody so much. That's my Card Party 2 review. It was amazing. I can't wait for the next one. If you went to it, let me know what you thought about this one. If you didn't go to it, let me know if you're gonna be at the next one. You better be, because it is more accessible now. Appreciate y'all watching. I'm going down to the pool. I lied, I have to edit this first, then I'm going down to the pool. If you missed the last video, you can watch it right here, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Jay, you're cute.
Flex on you haters, hi haters. This is my world, so it's all in my favor.